Representative James Talarico, thank you for joining me here today. I want to start with your reaction to last night's results, particularly in the Senate contest. We saw Attorney General Paxton beat incumbent Senator John Cornyn by over 20 points. Were you at all surprised?
Ken Paxton is the most corrupt politician in America. 3 years ago today, Ken Paxton was impeached by his own party, by his fellow Republicans, for using his public office, his position of public trust, to enrich himself and his donors at our expense. And so Ken Paxton embodies this broken, corrupt political system that we're running against. And I look forward to prosecuting the case against Ken Paxton. I look forward to bringing Texans together, Democrats, independents, and Republicans, to prevent a crook from becoming our next U.S. Senator. This is the people versus Ken Paxton. And I look forward to this fight all the way to November.
What evidence do you have to suggest that Attorney General Paxton enriched himself, over the last few years?
Well, the evidence is very clear. His net worth has gone up 7,000% since he entered public office. He now owns 11 homes when most of us can't afford one. He has taken bribes from wealthy donors and then turned around and blocked overtime pay for Texas workers and gutted our health care. This is why he was impeached by his fellow Republicans. It's why he was indicted for fraud and defrauding investors. And so his record of criminal activity is crystal clear. Ken Paxton has a criminal record. I have a legislative record. I've served for 4 terms in the Texas House of Representatives, where I've brought Democrats and Republicans together to pass 60 bipartisan bills to cut property taxes, to raise teacher pay, to lower the cost of housing, childcare, and prescription drugs, including insulin. And so I think that's what people are looking for in their next U.S. Senator, who's going to bring both parties together to take on corruption and lower costs.
I do want to ask you, heading into November, what your strategy will be, particularly here in East Texas. Now, this is an area where Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett performed well, and last night we saw Attorney General Paxton perform well in East Texas as well. So what will be your strategy in the Piney Woods region?
Well, I'll be in East Texas a lot over the next few weeks and months. In fact, I'm going to be out in Nacogdoches on a Thursday night for an event in the community. And I encourage folks to come out, whether you're a Democrat, an independent, or a Republican. If you're looking for a movement of working people coming together to take on this corruption that's embodied by puppet politicians like Ken Paxton, I hope you'll join us at our event in Nacogdoches. But we're going to be out in East Texas a lot. We've already been to Longview and Tyler and Beaumont, and we're going to have many more visits so that we can earn the trust, earn the respect, and hopefully earn the support of East Texans.
I do want to ask you, because you talk about corruption a lot in this interview. I know you've talked about corruption over the campaign. I do want to ask, to what degree do you want voters in November to vote for you because of who you are, because of your policies, versus voting for you because they may not like Attorney General Ken Paxton?
The movement that we're building is a lot bigger than any one politician or any one political party. We are running against this corrupt system. Ken Paxton embodies that system, is a symptom rather than the disease. And what we're running against is the disease, because this broken, corrupt system is why we can't afford anything. It's why we can't get ahead no matter how hard we work. This system was 50 years in the making. Trickle-down economics is not a theory, it's theft. The billionaire mega donors and their puppet politicians like Ken Paxton have been stealing from us, stealing from the American people, stealing the wealth that we created. It's why everyone is so angry right now, because we can't seem to get ahead no matter how many hours we put in. We can't seem to make those ends meet. And the American people aren't asking for a lot. We're asking for a home that we can raise a family in. We're asking for a job we don't hate. And we're asking for a little left over every month so we can go on vacation every once in a while. That is harder than it should be in the United States of America. The only way we're going to revive and rescue the American dream is if we defeat the most corrupt politician in America and then go on to defeat this entire corrupt system.
If you are elected in November, just to give voters an idea, what would you say are your biggest priorities?
Well, one, it's getting big money out of our politics, banning corporate PACs, banning super PACs, banning members of Congress from trading stocks and enriching themselves. Once we transform this broken political system, then we can start making progress on unrigging this economy, raising people's pay, cutting taxes, lowering costs. We can drop grocery prices immediately if we get rid of these crazy tariffs. We could drop the price of gas immediately if we suspend the federal gas tax and the federal diesel tax and end this disastrous war in Iran. We can save lives by cutting the cost of life-saving prescription drugs like insulin. I've led on these issues, and I want to lead on these issues as the next U.S. Senator from Texas.